In 2025, I managed just over $242,000 in Google ad spend generating mortgage leads for mortgage brokers across the country. And we did this over a lot of different lead types or campaign types. First time home buyers, USDA, FHA, VA, conventional. We did some refinance. We did some non QM, like your bank statement self employed type loans, and then even DSCR as well. So I want to show you what absolutely tanked, what crushed, the strategy that we were running to generate these leads, and then the exact ads, the landing pages, the forms, and the follow-up that worked the best. All right, so we are in the Google Ads account. So you can see, and let me refresh this real quick so you know that I'm not full of shit. um, in this account, you can see date range is January 1st through December 31st of 2025. And we spent over $242,000, got over 5,800 leads for about 41 bucks per lead. Now, if I go to the campaign section, you're going to see what types of campaigns we ran. So obviously DSCR, this is a big one. 753 leads for 53,000 spent or 54,000 spent. USDA campaign about 32K. This guy barely broke even. Okay, barely broke even, and generated a ton of leads, but the lead cost was 15 bucks a lead. Which seems really nice, seems really low, but almost none of them converted because they're priced out of the market. Okay. FHA, same exact thing, tons of leads, low cost, very low conversion rate. I don't even think they broke even on this campaign. The non-QM right here, 20,000 spent. Lead cost 164 bucks, and then multi-state DSCR campaign, 13,000, got about 180 leads and 76 bucks per lead. This guy, so roughly $34,000 spent in ad spend. Show you the account real quick. This is his actual pipeline of what came through. So out of all those leads that he generated between non-QM and DSCR, generated about 12.5 million in loan volume from about $34,000 in spend. So 2 points a deal. 1 point a deal, you're quadrupling your money. 2 points a deal, he's in really good shape. All right. This is the best account. Next one is DSCR Michigan and California, 12,800 spent, 151 leads, so about 85 bucks per lead. Now, this client, I built out his setup with his own CRM, Bonzo, all that good stuff. So that's where he tracks all his closed deals. But I asked him, he said he closed about 10 deals here from that campaign, has about 2 more apps in process, and they're actively talking to a few people. And the loan amount on this is about 2.6 or so million for that 13,000 spent. Next guy, Texas, $11,827 spent. Cost per lead was much lower, so we got quite a few more leads. And closed about 1.7 or 1.8 million across 7 different deals. This should be escrow, but has another 2.2 million in escrow right now. Okay, so it's starting to stack up that pipeline. All right, so let's dive into the strategy overall, and then I'm going to break down the ads, landing page, all that good stuff. So the strategy basically is what we're doing is we're targeting people that are going into Google and typing in something like this: DSCR loan, Texas, rental property lender, California, etc. And then when they type that in, they're going to see a sponsored ad that pops up at the top. This is what we ran. We didn't do anything with Google My Business. We didn't do anything with the SEO down here. We just paid to get in the top spot. And then when someone clicked on their ad, it took them to a landing page that was designed to capture leads with a long form lead form that kicks out anybody under a certain score. And if they're above that score, lets them go through to where they can book an appointment or just fill out their information and get contacted back by the lender. Now, once that person becomes the lead, we would drop them into the CRM that has automated follow-up. An email that just details out what it is that we do, what kind of investor loans we offer, and then a confirmation SMS message that says, John, thanks for submitting your Texas refinance inquiry. Alex will review your info and reach out to you shortly to go over your options. Company name, reply, stop, don't subscribe. That was it. All right, so let's dive into what the ads actually looked like. Okay, so we were running maximized conversions on these campaigns. So not like a manual cost per click or maximized clicks. It was maximized conversions, and we would have multiple ad groups within each campaign. And each ad group was hyper targeted towards 1, maybe 2 keywords. So like rental property loan, DSCR loan, investment property loan. Those would be 3 ad groups that you could run and then never touch again, and that would generate leads as long as your landing page is good. But for example, rental property lender, rental property loan. If I go to DSCR, DSCR loan. Like that's it. It's that simple. That's what we were running. Now the ads themselves, what they look like was this. So you have, DSCR loans for real estate, DSCR investor loan, DSCR loan approval, Texas DSCR lender because he was targeting Texas, DSCR loan Texas, etc. You can see them here, and there's nothing crazy about it. In fact, here's one that I think outperformed everybody else, but no docs, no problem. Scale your portfolio with a DSCR loan, check your eligibility. DSCR loan specialist will help you identify exactly what you can qualify for. Okay. Very simple, very straightforward, but you're only targeting people that are looking for these types of loans. So they come in with intent, which is why the close rate on these guys is between 4 and 8 or 9%. So as far as the ads, this is what we ran on the landing pages. All these landing pages are almost identical. If I go to this one over here and this one over here, you can see it's the same exact setup. All right. So we scroll down, we have just some basic benefits that are reinforcing one, SEO and telling Google that this is the right page for DSCR investor loans. But then two, just highlighting the unique differences between DSCR loans and trying to get qualified as like a conventional borrower, even though you're a real estate investor, right? Then we highlight the company right here. We have reviews, which I cannot state this enough. If you have reviews, put them on your landing page if you are running traffic to it. This is the difference, I believe, between like a 4x return and an 8x return. The more reviews, the better. Okay. Frequently asked questions down here. This is where we're going to heavily detail out like the qualifications and who our ideal lead is essentially for DSCR loans. And it's different. It varies for every single client, but we want to give as much information here as possible because we do actually want to limit the leads that come through. Like contrary to what most people think, it's a numbers game. You need more volume, and to a point, that's true. But I see people taking it way out of context and trying to generate maybe 1,000 leads where you only have like 100 right numbers. No, we want to limit the amount of people that come through so that you're talking to less people and closing more. And that's what these FAQs are designed to do. Okay? So I'll click your eligibility, take it back up here. The lead form. And so we had a couple of different questions. What are you looking to do? Right? What type of property is it? This is where we kick out people based off credit score. So 619 or less gets out. Anything above that goes through. We get the estimated purchase price, estimated down payment. Again, we're not kicking out based off of this, but we're just highlighting you need minimum 20% down, right? And then the state, and then name, email. So you guys can copy, these just, yeah, run with it. It works really well. Okay. Now, as far as the follow-up is concerned, let me break this down. So I like an email going out right away, but really SMS is the best thing that you can possibly do. So if somebody comes in and fills out a lead form, immediately what you want to do is have a message that goes out that just lets them know you got their information and you will be reaching out. And there's kind of two ways to go about this. So number one, you can have this go out and then directly reach out to the lead, or you can have that go out. Let me get out of here real quick. And then you could immediately have, another message that goes out that says, hey, contact first name. And the reason that I like this is because we have to have this reply stop to unsubscribe nowadays with the A2P BS that's out there. And so we want them to know, hey, like this is not a real person reaching out. This is an automated message. And then what we can do, you can absolutely have a message go out 2 to 3 minutes later that says, hey, John, hey, it's Alex with Barrett. I'm following up on your refinance inquiry in Texas. Did you want to see how much you qualify for? Did you have questions? If you want to skip to the line, go ahead and get pre-approved. Thought you might find some value from this. Here's a DSCR link guide that we have, which is super easy to create with AI nowadays. So you could just be adding value to these guys' lives. But the whole point of this is to only be talking to the people that respond to you, because not all the leads are going to respond. Yes, they may have had intent and filled out a lead form, but that doesn't mean that they're a good lead. It doesn't mean that they're going to respond, right? So this is going to kick out probably the 30% of people that are not going to respond at all anyway. Instead of 100 leads to get 4 to 8 deals, you're now only talking to 70 leads to get 4 to 8 deals. Okay? A lot more manageable and a lot more scalable. All right, so that is everything between the ads, the results, the ads, the follow-up, the landing page, the lead form, everything that we did that allowed, you know, one of my clients makes like an 8x return on his advertising. Insane. The average return on the DSCR lead gen campaign was about 5x. It's absolutely crazy. And it's only going to continue to get better over time, especially now that these sites that we're building are ranking in Google and ranking in LLMs like ChatGPT. So free traffic is starting to come through, which is kind of a mind-blowing thing that I'm going to be exploring more this next year in 2026. So, any questions? Let me know. If you want to see something specifically in a video, comment below. Let me know as well. I check all that shit. So, see you in the next one. Peace.